Oh shit. Here we go again.
Good evening, everyone. And after a long while, welcome back to Sam's Rant. First and foremost, please apologize. It's cold out here. I'm wearing my gown. I'm not doing this thing of trying to dress up. Firstly, if you're tuning in, thank you, as always. It's been a minute. Secondly, I want to start by explaining the hiatus. Then I want to talk about the game. Actually, you know what? No, let me first explain okay. I took a hiatus because Manchester United behind the scenes was doing really terrible things to the staff members, to the fans, and like a very the footballer was not affected per se. You know, the people that earn 100K, 150K, 200K a week, you know, they weren't being affected. Instead, it was the people that earn, 5K a month, you know, the actual staff, and they're raising ticket prices for the average working man, and just a lot of stuff that I personally just couldn't get behind. And with the performances on the pitch and everything, I couldn't bring myself to actually watch my club. The club I fell in love with, and it really, really hurt me. And obviously, because I love football, this is my favorite thing in the world. I couldn't bring myself to actually watch a football game and support my club with everything that they've been doing. I couldn't do that. Like, as much as me not watching me, just one individual, doesn't do anything. It doesn't affect them in any way, but I couldn't contribute to their revenue by adding one more, viewership, or buy a t-shirt or whatever to support the fucking higher ups that are up there that are just destroying my club from the inside out. And yeah, I decided I'm just not going to watch anymore. Obviously the results didn't encourage me to watch, but yeah, I just completely switched off from the club. So that will be the context of my rant. Let me quickly talk about the game. So I decided today, because today was basically a cup final for us, which I'll give you context. We are, where are we? Hold on, I'll tell you. We are, mouse pad. We're 14th on the log, and we are 3 points from fourth bottom of the log. We just need a draw in the league in order to secure being in the Premier League and not get relegated. That is the maddest thing I've ever heard, and I can't rack my brain around it. Manchester United needs a draw to stay in the Premier League, essentially, because the team that is 18th is sitting on 21 points, and in the last 6 games, I believe, they can get 18 points, and if we lose all our games, and one of those games is Chelsea, and if Chelsea thumps us with 7 or 8 goals or something stupid, we would be tied with goal difference, maybe even less than them, depending on what they do, which is a madness, which means that, there actually is a possibility that Man United could get relegated. Do you understand how crazy that sounds? That is how bad we are. That's how shit we are. Embarrassing. Anywho, so we've obviously charged the league. There's a lot of things about the dressing room, the manager, the upper ups, the senior management, ownership, etc., which is kind of like the crux of the problem. And this game was essentially the season for us. If we lost this game and we got kicked out of Europe, we lose revenue that's supposed to help us to even try and rebuild, let alone our debt, just to try and keep us afloat. And it was like all or nothing. And it was one of the most incredible football games you would ever see at Old Trafford, just because of the magnitude, we started off good. We did really good in the first half. Really good. I was really impressed. I was like, wow, this is the best football we played all year. This is insane. The little touches, and Bruno almost scored goal of the season. It was literally Bruno Van Persie-esque. And I was like, raw, cool. This is cool. This is cool. Second half, awa. Jiggy jiggy, now it's 2-2. And I was thinking, rotted, of course. Why are we surprised, right? And it's like, you look at the bench and, I mean, we go into extra time, now we concede, then there's the Luke Shaw penalty, and it's like, fuck. Luke Shaw has not been playing for half the fucking year, earning, I don't know how much, he's like on 120K, it's infuriating. It's, you know what, fuck it. Long story short, great game, glad we won. We live to fight another day. Let me fucking talk about my club now, because now I'm sick and tired of this shit. Lyon is a shit club. They're shit. And with all due respect, Ligue 1 is a trash league. The French league has one team, maybe two, that compete against each other, and Lyon is not one of them. They're shit. The only reason we were able to even do anything against them is because we were just less shit, essentially. The fact that Harry Maguire, bless his soul, we played him as a striker because we don't have another striker, because now Xerxes is out for the season. And it's just like, that is the principal problem here. Harry Maguire, we put him at number 9, the most expensive defender. We placed him as our striker, and he's the one that won us the game. Look, fair enough, Harry. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bruno, man of the match, of course. Lenny Yoro is, he's brilliant. You know, like Kobe Minu, brilliant. Like, there's brilliant players in that team. Even Cass, who I've written off, like, he was decent. Ugarte is a fucking class act. But, like, for the last 11 years now, essentially, we've fallen so far from greatness that the theater of dreams, and one of the commentators said it, it's no longer the theater of the dreams, it's the theater of nerves. That is the problem. Dating back from Moyes, Van Gaal, Oli, Oli was not that bad. Josie also was not that bad. But, like, there were so many financial decisions that it's like the players that we bought and the contracts that we bought them with, and it's like we can't get rid of them, and there's just so much useless money being spent. And as much as the Glazers will say, okay, cool, here's 200 mil, go buy Pogba or whatever, or Di Maria, or fucking Memphis Depay, or fucking Ronaldo again, whatever, there's all these decisions that are made that are stupid for whatever situation that we find ourselves in. So, context. We decide, okay, ETH, time's up, we're done with you. They now hear about Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim plays 3 at the back. He plays 3 at the back. That's his thing. He was doing amazing things at Sporting, and we hear that Liverpool wants him, Man City wants him, and then Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who fucking stole the club. Actually, sorry, I retract Sir Jim from him. He's boost that brew. Jimmy, whatever the fuck you want to call him, he decides he wants to take 25% of the club so that he has some kind of hold onto the Glazer ownership, but they still have controlling ownership. It doesn't really help. All he's done is he's shifted the Glazers further away from the spotlight. Now we're not longer looking at the Glazers as the problem, we're looking at him. And just because he's a Manchester boy or whatever, or he's English, we're supposed to forgive him. Qatar was going to buy the whole club full, clear the debts. Every single turnover year, the interest that builds up on Man United's debt, the revenue pays it. The revenue in this fucking massive football club is what? I can't really guesstimate the number, but all I know is that the interest on our £700 million debt, because it's 7 plus. I don't think it's a bill yet. It's 7 plus, and the interest that's accumulated on that is what our global revenue pays, just so that the debt stays where it is. Milo? No. Milo's trying to interrupt me here. And then the Glazers will then decide, oh, cool, we'll take dividends out of the club. We'll take 20, 30 mil for ourselves as profit. On top of that, the stadium is falling apart. They want to build a new stadium. They want to do so many things, right? Cool. Where do we fund They decide in their bright minds, let's fire internal staff. That's what they choose to do. Let's fire the kitchen staff, cleaning staff in Old Trafford and Carrington. People that have been working there for 20, 25 years. Lifetime fans of the club. Retrenched. They decide to increase ticket prices. They stop donating to the charities that we were always donating to, so that we can save costs, so that we can buy a striker. When you have players like Luke Shaw, who've been injured for a fucking year and a half, earning 100 and something K a week, who then comes and concedes a penalty on one of the most important nights. Make that make sense. That's why I took a hiatus. I was like, this is some more fucking bullshit, because they are penny pinching in all the wrong places and affecting real life people. And people like Marcus Rashford just get to go on loan, revitalize their careers, MBE and whatever, and are still being paid. Remember, when a player goes on loan, the parent club still pays a portion of the salary. We're still paying for Marcus Rashford's salary. We're paying for Anthony's salary there in Betis. Sancho, we're paying for some of his salary. Chelsea doesn't even want him. They probably want to pay that they have a 5 million penalty if they don't actually buy him, because there was an obligation to buy for 25 mil. So they'd rather pay 5 million and give him back to us. Then we still have him for another 2 years because of another stupid financial decision. There's been many of these. All of these decisions have left our club in the pits. We're still in debt. So Jim came in and tried to save it all. He hired a sporting director from Newcastle, Dan Ashworth. Dan Ashworth resigned just the other day, and they had to pay him too. So they paid Eric, because obviously they fired him. They paid for Amorim because they wanted him. They paid for Dan Ashworth because they brought him and had to pay him to go out, essentially, because when you contracted, right, if you fire me, you still owe me some monies for whatever the duration was. Fine, fantastic. Now it's all this talk about Amorim and his system. Maybe he needs to change the system. Yapa Shanice. Now you're going to tell him to change his system. Then it's like, but you brought me here. And you're like, yeah, but change the system. But this is my system. They told him, Amorim said, let me come at the new season, at the beginning of the new season. Let me come next year. They're like, nah, now or never. And it's like, fuck, I want this job. Cool. Comes through. They don't give him players. They don't give him time. Telling him to change his system. And then they want to talk about firing him. It doesn't make any sense. So Jim and his bruise there, I thought Barada was a clever guy. It seems like he's worse. I don't know what's going on up there. But all I know, all that is evident, is that the football is atrocious. We are rotten from top down. And we'll have games like this. You know, memorable games. What's our next fixture, by the way? We're playing Wolves next. We're probably going to lose that game. Wolves is not easy. Even though they are a mid-table club, they're probably going to beat us. Thing is, we'll have games like this where we do really, really good, and then the next game we're really, really shit. And apparently, after Newcastle, Amorim called an emergency meeting. And the media was like, oh, he was probably cussing people out. It's probably just like, nah, guys. Look at where we are on the log. Guys, we're 14. We are 14th. 14th, guys. Nah, man. Spurs is below us. By just 1 point. We're chatting to Spurs. That's how bad we are. We're at Spurs. We're in Spurs WhatsApp group. Our actual rivals, our peers, Liverpool, are winning leagues, maybe possibly Champions Leagues, and we're still out here talking to Spurs. Waste man shit. And it's just like, on top of all of that, we send players like Marcus Rashford on loan. So what Amorim was doing, I think, was getting rid of the toxicity in the dressing room, because now he definitely controls it. Your Rashfords, your Sanchos, you know, people with big voices. Even Ronaldo, for example, was a big voice, and Eric was able to kind of force Chris to get himself out, you know. But now, with Marcus Rashford and Sancho out of the team, and Anthony, we don't have wingers anymore, or forward players. Now we're playing Harry Maguire at striker. Harry Maguire, the most expensive defender, is now jersey number 9. Nah, man. We're a fucking laughing stock. We're an embarrassment, and it's disgusting. Sir Matt Busby must be turning in his grave. Sir Bobby Charlton has been turning in his grave, and poor. Fortunately, at least Grandpops Sir Alex came to see the match and at least saw an entertaining match. From an entertainment perspective, I can understand. I get it. That was dope to watch. It was stressful, but it kept you on the edge of your seat, you know? But it's just really, really embarrassing that is what we are now. That is what we are. And if I'm being real with you, we've got Wolves, tough game. We've got Bournemouth next, tough game. From those two, if we get 2 points from those games, I'll be happy. Because I think we just need a point to stay in the league. Because we're done with the league. Thereafter, it's Brentford. We're going to lose that game. And then West Ham is a very important game because West Ham is right below us. So we need to beat West Ham. We have to beat West Ham. Then at least we'll be secure. After West Ham, it's Chelsea. The thing is, we also turn up at big games. We might draw it, but they probably will thump us. After that, it's Aston Villa. Aston Villa will probably also thump us. And then, I think we then will play Bilbao because Bilbao went through in the Europa League. And then we have another game like this now. Where it's a bit shaky, warrior. And then I guess we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, that is the states of my club. We are battling relegation in our domestic cup. And we are it's a Hail Mary basically. We're just praying now that we can win the Europa. So that we can win the European money that we need in order for us to stay afloat. Because if we lose that European money, if we get kicked out of Europe, we haven't won anything, we haven't generated anything. Then we're going to start selling players like your Kobe Mainus. That Amos boy that looks good, he looks really good. We'll start selling players like him because they're all pure profits. And then we're going to buy cheap. Apparently, we're looking at Sean Longstaff from Newcastle. Who doesn't even get into the Newcastle first team. If he doesn't get into the Newcastle first team, why does he get into ours? As much as Newcastle is a better club than us, they're not they are pretty big. But we're part of the top 6. Well, we're. It's come on, guys. And a question that a lot of football analysts ask is, which player in our team gets in any other squad's first team? Bruno? De Ligt? Maybe Diallo, to be fair. Maybe Mazraoui. But definitely Bruno and De Ligt. Other than that, because Garnacho, as much as, yeah, he can be amazing, but he doesn't have leadership in and around him to properly teach him. Because, for example, when Chris was at Man United, he had Giggs, he had Rooney, he had Scholes, he had Keane. He had leaders that would tell him, yeah, we get it, bro. You can break ankles, but pass, Shit like that. It will take him a bit of time. He's obviously a talent. He'll get there. But for fuck's sakes, man, it's fucking embarrassing. The fact that we are celebrating things that we used to laugh at Arsenal fans for or Tottenham fans for. We're celebrating them now. That's where we are. Us big Man United. It's fucking bullshit. And I won't lie. I would take relegation. If relegation meant that we get rid of the Glazers, I would take it in a heartbeat. I'd snatch it up and we would stay in the champion. You wouldn't be able to watch Man United games, basically, because we'd be playing in the Championship League that isn't actually televised on fucking Sky Sports or whatever. I mean, I'm sure you can find it, but I would rather that and it take us 15 to 20 to 30 to 40 years to get back into the Premier League. Me watch my team come back when I'm 60. I would rather that than what they're doing to us now because our stadium is rotting. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos of the water falling through. You've heard the stories about rats and stuff at Old Trafford. Our stadium is falling apart and apparently it's too expensive to renovate. The Glazers they've been killing us for 10, 11 years now. Killing us because all the money that we were generating, they weren't reinvesting into the infrastructure of the club. All they would do is take dividends for themselves and buy whoever the next hot player is. Di Maria, Memphis Depay, Zlatan, fucking Pogba. You know, like they were just going for the big money names to sell t-shirts. And then what do they do with that revenue? Pockets it again. Stadium keeps, like, I don't think you guys understand how infuriating it is to watch. You know that scene from The Godfather? Look how they massacred my boy. That's me. Look how they massacred my boy. The fact that my pops Chris had to come through and be like, they haven't fucking, dude, this is the same meal plans when I was there are still being served now. And then on top of that, now they're telling people, cool, you guys that are making the food, you can't even eat the food yourself. They're telling the people you can't eat from the canteen. Only the players can. What fucking bullshit is that? What bullshit is that? Fuck out of here, man. That is some more bullshit. And then on top of that, they'll go and play and lose. Poor Kathy there in the kitchen that made Rashford a chicken there. They'll go and they'll lose. She can't even have the chicken. She can't even have the chicken. Nah, man, fuck it. I'm actually done. And the fact that we're celebrating this win is what makes it even more embarrassing because, again, Lyon is shit. We had the game in the first half. We had it. How did we lose it? It's the same thing that always happens with a set of players. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is in the water there. They just lose it. And the moment, once we concede, Kotra, game, set, match, it's done, it's chai. Now they no longer care now anymore. And we can't sell them because they're on fucking massive, stupid contracts. For example, Hero Maguire, he's got, I think, about 3 more years, I think, because he did sign another deal. I think he's got about 3 more years or so. We wanted to sell him because he was crap. Fortunately now, Amarim's system actually suits him because he plays 3 at the back. So we can use Maguire now. Cool. Sancho, I think we still have for another 2 years, I believe. And it's obviously toxic already as it is. I don't know how we're going to sell him. Rashford's all petulant there in the streets. He's one of our highest earners. I don't know how we're going to sell him. Casemiro is our highest earner. And look, with all due respect, Cass, like, as much as he does better, but like, nah, bro, it doesn't justify your paycheck. Newcastle's entire team that literally made us look like a championship team. They made us look like school kids. Nope, their wage bill is probably not even half of ours. Make that one make sense for me. And what does Sir Jim Ratcliffe do? Oh, yeah, we'll just fire some staff. We'll increase ticket prices. All the while, Man United is still in massive fucking debt. And the Glazers sit there watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers there in the States, because that's not like they're in the UK. They're there in the States living their best life, just chilling, cooling. And that's the club I'm supposed to support. What they tend to forget is that there are real people behind us. People that grew up. There was a little kid that they showed there who was crying when it was 5-4. Crying there in extra time thinking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They forget that football comes from working men. In Manchester and in Liverpool back a day, it was tradesmen. They're dock cities, right? So it was people of like carrying crates, boxes, blacksmiths and carpenters and all sorts. And how they would de-stress after a long day's work would be to play football. It's a working man's sport. It's not a rich man's sport like golf. No. This is your average Joe, your average guy, estrateni. That's why in, for example, countries like Brazil, the reason why Brazil is arguably one of the most talented countries in terms of just natural ability in football is because you're in the streets and there's kind of nothing else to do but to play football. You don't have money to go to a mall or money to go to a pub or you're just in the streets and you've got a ball. So you play and you play all day. And it's literally like watching the history of a nation die with what's happening to Man United. Because as much as when Liverpool was down in the dumps and it took them 30 years, it was never, they would never have stood for this, you know. And it's not like we do, but it's just that our owners are just genuine cunts, to say the least. So, yeah, I had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry. I went a little bit somber there. But nonetheless, that was basically the reason for my hiatus. I was just very upset at the fact that this is the state of my club. So, going forward, I do want to change up the formats. I want to start discussing maybe more solution-oriented things. I've got a friend of mine who wants to join me. Perhaps maybe I'll swing him in. We just have football discussions. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the night, enjoy the win, and I'm not sure if I'll do another one, but this is just a venting session, if you will, just to tell you guys what my mindset is with regards to my football club, because I'm embarrassed. I really am. I really am. If I am to ever meet a Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, a Jim Ratcliffe, not Sir Jim, on the streets, it's fisticuffs, because they don't understand the badge that they represent. You know what I mean? They don't get the Busby Babes. They don't get the, you know, the class of 92. Like, they don't get it. You know, they don't get it. I'm kind of at peace with the fact that they don't get it. But if I see them, it's on side. Because look how they massacred my boy. Don't even get me started on, like, the Sir Jim Ratcliffe one is the one for me. Because he bought this club thinking, because he owns Nice, right, in France. He bought this club thinking, I can save it. My chief, you've just made it worse. You've just given the Glazers an extra fucking, you've given them a new Edward Wood. That's what he's done. Anywho, I'm just rambling now. I'm gonna kill it there. It's been nice. I haven't done this in a while. It has been nice. It feels like a little venting sesh. Anyway, this has been Sam's rant/vent, I guess. I'm a little bit calmer these days. I think I'm doing better. Any Man United fans out there, let's enjoy the win. Let's enjoy it today. Let's enjoy it today, and we'll see after Wolves how we're feeling. Anyway, this has been Sam's rant. Sam signing out. Deuce. I should fuck her in the Benz.